Hey guys, today is Monday. It is Memorial Day. It is probably a little after 2 in the afternoon, somewhere there. I'm jumping in today to do the video for Jess and about the whole dental situation and all that stuff. Um, you had said several weeks ago we were kind of chatting back and forth online about how you're going to have to get get your the uppers done, and I told you I would come on and explain everything and how that went down and all that stuff. Um, First of all, let me just say it's not a big of a deal as you might think it is. It really isn't. Um, is it a walk in the park? Not really. I mean, it's a skip in the park. It's not really a walk in the park. But it's a slow walk in the park, we'll put it that way. But it's not that bad. Now, for a lot of you people know that I had over a year ago, about a year and 5 months, give or take, something like that. I had to have the uppers taken out because of the infections I was getting and the erosion I was getting from the jawbone down with the AS. So I know I had one person come in. I ain't gonna go there. I'll go there in another video because this was not about it's not about that. Anyway, yeah. So basically, the day that I went to have the extractions done. First of all, I didn't have it done in a regular dentist office setting. Mine was done up in Gainesville at Shands at the USF. So it's just the way insurance, Medicaid, and all that worked out. And anyway, that's another story. But it wasn't done in a regular, type dentist office setting. And it was more of an ER setting, kind of, sort of, because it was a lot of little corridors divided by curtains, that type of thing, that type of scene. But in any case, I'm trying to think. My appointment was at like 1 o'clock, no, 1:30. We got there at 1:15. And they had me back probably around 1:25, so we weren't waiting very long. And I got back to where I was supposed to be. My little spot was way down on the end. It was kind of a hallway. And the guy who did everything that day was probably one of the best medical people I had seen in a long time. A long time, just by the way he did it. Normally when you had dental stuff a few years ago. Remember when you had the extractions or whatever? Normally when you sit down in a dentist's office, they say, it's like, how you doing? This is what we're going to do. This is what you can expect, and yada, yada, yada. And they give you the whole spiel, right? No. I get back there. I see on the screen he's already got my x-rays up, so he's already been going over everything. And he just looks at me, he goes, "Mr. Kirby?" I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "Have a seat." So I sit down. The girl that was there, she was getting me situated, putting back the chair and all this stuff. And he started talking about, what was he talking about? It was about this, what was going on, but it wasn't, God, I can't remember. Anyway, normally when you have stuff done, they let you know when you're about to get the shots. And I had probably, I think, 10 on top in the front. I did not know they were coming. He walks over and he's like, "Okay, open up, let me get a look." And so I did, and next thing I know, I felt a poke appear. Didn't even, no warning, none whatsoever. I felt one poke up here, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, it's like that." Yeah. So the next thing I knew, he was done. He had all 10 in the front done in no time. I really didn't feel it. And I think it was because he didn't give me the chance to prepare for it. And that's why I'm saying what he did was very brilliant as far as I'm concerned. It was good. He was good. And but he got done with the top. He says, "All right." He had two in the back somehow. He had to get, so he did those. And he's like, "You all right?" And I'm like, "Yeah." He goes, "All right. I got two more to do." And Jess, I'm not gonna lie to you. That you do feel them. It's not like they're painless. You do feel the shots, but it's nothing you can't handle. I mean, it really isn't, unless they get a nerve or something. He did get a little bit of a nerve back here, but the two that they do in the roof of your mouth, you're gonna feel them. Those hurt. So he did warn me about that. He said, you know, I'm gonna do these two and they're gonna hurt. So, all right, fine. And they did. So, and he waited a few minutes. He was talking about something, and a few minutes later, I had two on the bottom because I had to have the two taken out here because they were just, I don't know. Anyway, the rest of these on the bottom were actually fine. But he waited a few minutes, and then the next thing I know, I can't feel anything from my eyeballs down to here. It did not, doesn't exist. So by the time they get done with their shots, it's not very long because there's so much Novocaine up here, and with me they had a couple down here, and then they had the ones, you know, back in the jaw area, and there was nothing. I could not talk. I sounded ridiculous. However, he understood every word I was saying. So, in any case, and that was it. He started back on this side. He worked his way around on this side, and the only issue that I had was not the extractions themselves, because those went pretty easily. There was a couple back here that was kind of hard to get out, but you didn't feel it. Did not feel it. And the only issue I really had was when he had to do a allevioplasty. I think it's pronounced allevioplasty. I could be wrong, but go with it. Or look it up. Just go, you know, type in allevioplasty, OLE, or just how it sounds, allevioplasty. That bothered me a little bit, not pain-wise. It did not hurt at all. What bothered me was, what that is where they have to go in and take out a little bit of the bone that may be hanging down, not tooth-wise, but just the bone itself. And so he had to cut, you know, in the front, right at the gum line. Don't feel it. Don't worry about it. Then he took, they do it a few different ways. This guy, I don't know why he did it the way he did, but he did. He took basically, I'll use this, my remote for an example. It was like a file. Almost like a file you would file down a brick with or something. And he just went to town on it. And it wasn't painful, but it was the sound and the vibration of it, that kind of got to me a little bit. But it wasn't nothing that was, you know, it was unbearable or anything. It was just a little, took me off guard. So, but that was the only thing that bothered me. The rest of it, you know, went smooth. He stitched everything up, and that was pretty much the end. The only other thing that really threw me off, and you probably won't have this issue, but again, I had a really bad sinus infection, and everything on this side was full of infection. So when he was pulling everything out, he got over here, and it came out. The one tooth came out, and I remember sitting there, and he was just like, he goes, like that. And the girl was sitting there, you know, she had the suction thing going on, and she was like really up in there. And I remember him saying, you know, get it real well, get it real good. And so she's in there doing her thing with that suction hose or whatever. And then it hit me, the most god awful smell. It was horrible, and I almost couldn't take it. I mean, I finally, I just thought, I was like, oh, and he's like, okay, what is it? I was like, and I remember I couldn't get the words out because, again, I can't feel nothing. Everything is no, it was a mess. I said, what is that smell? But it didn't sound like that. It's like, you know, but anyway, but he, again, he understood. So, and he says, well, that is all the infection coming out of your sinuses and the other areas up in, the cavity or I can't remember what he called them. Anyway, as soon as he pulled the tooth, everything just started running out. And I was like, okay. So, anyway, they did that and did the alluvioplasty and got all that done. I was in and out probably hour and a half about that. It really didn't take that long. But again, it wasn't bad. It's a matter of just get through the shots, put your mind out, think of something else, and you'll be fine. But the funniest thing that happened is when everything was done, he had my mouth full of gauze and all this stuff. Now, again, I can't feel anything. So he gives me my paperwork, gives me some extra gauze. He goes, you'll need these for the ride home, and gave me my prescriptions. I was like, cool. So I left. I go out the exit door, and they have that area closed off. So now I have to go back around where I came in through the lobby, and I open the door, and here's this guy sitting directly against the wall in front of me, and I'm walking out. And I didn't realize exactly what he was seeing until a little while later. His eyes just bugged out, and I thought, oh, maybe he's going to get some stuff done, right? So I walked by him, and I was like, it's no sweat, don't worry about it, it's a piece of cake, you'll be fine. So then I walked around the corner, and here's Dan standing there, and he's just kind of like, damn. So I was like, okay, no problem. I gave him my prescriptions. I said, we got to stop at CVS and get my scripts. I cannot understand myself. I still cannot talk. But again, Dan can understand me. I don't get it. So he goes, no, there you have a pharmacy here. We'll get it here because, he didn't know how long we would have to wait at the drugstore and whatever. Anyway, so he said, we'll get it here. So we did. So we go down to the pharmacy area. He's sitting there doing his or he walked over to get the prescription filled. I'm sitting there, and I'm on my phone. I was on Facebook, and I'm looking at my phone, and I see this drops of blood hitting the top of my phone, and I'm like, oh shit. So I kind of had a napkin, I wiped, and I was like, oh great, now what? So I told Dan, I was like, I got to go to the bathroom. He goes, yeah, you do, because I had blood. It was all over my shirt. I was like, I didn't know this until I got in the bathroom, though. So I go down to the bathroom, and I now see why people are looking at me horrified. Because I got all this gauze in my mouth that is now soaked. I mean, it looked like somebody had hit me in the face with a brick. That's what it looked like. I had it all over my shirt. I mean, again, I can't feel anything. So it's like, it was horrible. So I'm in the bathroom at the sink trying to get myself situated. I got those other gauze I'm trying to stuff in there and get it situated and whatever. And this kid walks in, walks around the corner, sees what I'm doing there, and I'm mess. It was kind of funny, but at the same time, it was like, God, what are these people thinking? But yeah. So, got the scripts and went ahead and came home. Now, mind you, we had a 2.5 hour, with traffic, it was about 2.5 hour drive back home. And I was fine until probably the last 20 minutes before we got home. And then I took a pain pill. They gave me some, they just gave me ibuprofen, 600 milligram ibuprofen. And quite honestly, that's all I needed. It was because, I don't know, maybe it's because I already deal with pain anyway. But, so I took that, stopped at Walgreens, got gauze, then came home. But, the after is, it takes getting used to. it really does take some getting used to, because you now are talking funny, so you gotta learn how to talk. Um, it does take some getting used to. Now, depending on how you get yours done, some places will do the extractions and an immediate plate or denture or whatever at the same time. And I was not able to go through that or do it like that because of the way everything went down with the insurance and all that stuff. So I waited for about 6 weeks after the extractions before I was able to get the top plate done. In any case, and with me, I was perfectly fine with that because I didn't have to worry about extra pain or anything like that, trying to deal with that and the healing of this. So I was actually able to just heal before I got fitted for, later on. So it worked out for me. In any case, you're going to have to learn how to speak certain phrases like your T's, your S's, sometimes your D's. Your T's, your D's, your S's. What was the other one I was having an issue with? Mainly my S's I was having an issue with, and I still do have an issue with the S's sometimes with the plate. But what happened with me is I had to learn how to, say certain things without them. Then I got pretty good. Then when I got the top plate, I had to do it again because now I got this whole hockey puck in my mouth, and now I have to learn how to maneuver that and talk with that. That was the most difficult thing for me, was trying to learn how to speak somewhat normal, which I don't even notice it now. But yeah, that was the hardest part, was trying to speak. As far as healing from extractions, I was healed in no time. Just do what you're supposed to do. Don't try to eat anything or chew anything until you're supposed to. They'll tell you. And it should be fine. As long as you don't pop up with a dry socket, you're golden. So, that's pretty much it. Now, when you do get the top plate, there'll be an adjustment time. And depending on when you get it, if they send you home immediately with it, that's only going to be your temporary. Then you're going to have to go get a realign and all that stuff. This one, the one that I have, I've had it for well over a year and 3 months, I think, for this. And it was, I think they got me. I think it's supposed to be a temporary, because now it's a little bit too big because the gums have shrunk. So I am actually going to be going back probably in another month or so, and I don't know where I'm going to go yet. But get a new one made, and the right size and fit and everything, because the one that I have now is actually a little bit too big. I have to use a lot of adhesive in it, and if you get one that fits right after everything is healed, because your healing time is going to be about 6 months, up to a year. Then you can think about either getting a good, well, you get a few real lines before that time period, but yeah, they'll explain all of that to you. It's not that big a deal. But I'm going to be going back probably in another month or two and getting refitted, getting a new one made, and telling them how I want things a little bit more than I did the first go around, because I didn't know, but now I do know. So now I can go in and say, okay, knock off some of this gum line back here because it's a little bit too big, and do this or that, or make it this way. I can pretty much do what I want, and make them look. I mean, they look fine to me. They still look fine. It's just too big. So I got to get that redone. All right, let me get off here for now. I know that was kind of like long-winded, but you'll be fine. You'll trust me. You will be fine. As long as the way I know that you can handle pain as long as you can get through the shots, you'll be fine. So, all right. What else? I'm gonna get off here for now, and get dinner started here in a bit, and then I think that's gonna be about it for the night. That's gonna be about it. I am going to come back in and do those videos. Somebody asked me the other day, what are you talking about? The last video I said it had a lot of shit to say from people, from things that I'm seeing online or whatever. Y'all, people are off the chain. They really are. Yeah, apparently it's okay just to say whatever the hell you want to say, no matter whether you know for a fact it's going to bother somebody in a particular kind of way. Is it going to hurt their feelings? And I know there's this whole thing now with, I can say what I want and I don't care who it bothers. Well, guess what? Sometimes you gotta, you gotta be a little bit more mindful, because some things that I'm seeing that are being posted are just, I don't know. I don't see how anybody can do it and still have a clean conscience about it. I'll just leave it at that. Or how can somebody post something that is very hurtful, demeaning, degrading, racist, and then turn around and say, I'm going to church? We're going to talk about all that, because there's a lot I have to say. So, alright, I don't know when that video will be coming up, hopefully by the end of the week, but because it'll be another sit down type situation. And yeah, we're going to get into it. Alright guys, Jess, I hope that helped you out. Yeah, you'll be fine. And other than that, that's it. I'm going to jump off here for now, do what I got to do in here, and I will try to be back on tomorrow. Alright guys, love you all. Have a good Memorial Day, rest of the day.